Skeptics Review, the Bible, by John Smith. Exodus, chapter 19. The people of Israel left Rephidim and camped at the foot of Mount Sinai. Moses went up to the top of Mount Sinai to meet with Lord Yahweh. God pontificates. You guys all saw what I did to the Egyptians, and I carried you here as an eagle would or something. Yeah, I like that simile. So you all almost died of hunger and thirst a few times. Big deal. So you guys are my chosen people. So long as you do everything that I say, you will serve me as a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, or just as priests. Moses went down off the mountain and repeated to the leaders of the people everything that Lord Yahweh said to him. God then told Moses, I will appear to the people in a thick cloud, and the people will hear me speaking to you. So tell them to purify themselves, because I will be at the top of the mountain. You better mark off a boundary, though. The people can't step across this line. If they do, they need to be killed, either by stoning or with arrows. They can come up to the mountain when the trumpet is blown, though. So Moses was making a bunch of trips back up and back down the mountain, communicating all of Lord Yahweh's words to the people. And he went back down this time and he said, Lord Yahweh says no sexy time. You have to purify yourselves. So the next day, there was thunder and smoke and lightning, and a very loud trumpet apparently. The mountain was covered with smoke. The people went to the line that they weren't supposed to cross, and Moses went up to talk to God again. Moses just got to the top when God told him to go back down and repeat the instructions to the people not to cross the line. Well, Moses was getting his exercise for the day anyway. Moses repeated the instructions to the people, and God told him to come back up yet again, but this time he should bring Aaron with him. Exodus, chapter 20. This is where God gives Moses the Ten Commandments-ish. Sort of. Though it seems like God is really just talking here. You decide. God spoke, and these were his words. I am the Lord your God. Do not worship any other gods. I mean it. No other gods before me. None but me. Got it? Also, no molten gods, false idols, graven images, or representations of any kind, either in heaven or earth or in the water, because I, omnipotent, omnipresent, omnibenevolent God, is a jealous God, and I tolerate no rivals. You got that? Don't try my patience, because I bring punishment down to the third and fourth generation. You don't want to see me when I'm angry. Don't misuse or take my name in vain or use my name for evil purposes. That's a big no-no. You need to remember and observe the Sabbath and keep it holy, because I, the omnipotent, omnipresent Lord, rested on the seventh day of creation, and that means you have to rest too. Don't even think about picking up sticks. We'll get to that later. Moving on. Respect and honor your father and mother. Do not commit murder, unless I specifically tell you to. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Do not commit adultery. We'll discuss the consequences for this later. I don't know, maybe stoning or something. I'll think about it and get back to you. No stealing. Although, this is another gray area when it comes to flocks and herds and virgins of other tribes later on. Meh. Again, I'll think on it and iron out the details later. Do not accuse anyone falsely. No false testimony or bearing false witness. Finally, no coveting. That includes a man's house, wife, servants, maidservants, manservants, donkeys, oxes, asses, cattle, loot, and or bling. Yes, I did list the wife after the house and before the slaves, She should be happy I didn't list her after the ox and ass or after the loot and bling. Her job is to make the man sandwiches. We talked about this in Genesis multiple times. So the people heard the mountain rumbling, I guess. Not sure if they heard God's words clearly or not, but they trembled with fear nonetheless. Moses, of course, told them what God had said anyway, because I guess they were afraid that if they heard God, they would die. Kind of like seeing God. These people sound pretty gullible to me. Moses tells them, Lord Yahweh has come to test you and make sure you do not sin. Side note, I'm not sure if Aaron was on the mountain with Moses the whole time or not. The Bible doesn't specifically say. What do you guys think? Anyway, God repeats himself about the idols, and especially tells them not to make any out of gold or silver. When they make an altar to God, it needs to be made out of earth, and no cut stones. Just a pile of uncut stones on top of each other. That should be fine. But no steps leading up to the altar. If you do, you will expose yourself up the steps. Wait, what?